All right, I wanted to do a video this morning. I've been given some thought about what about people that have not saved for their retirement yet, but are making a good income, but are already in their 50s, and they think, wow, I just don't have a chance to retire a millionaire. Um, we may be making $150,000 a year or more, but I just we just can't do it because we haven't saved to here. Is all hope lost? And I started thinking about it in the context of selling these puts and making a few percentage, sometimes weekly. For instance, this last week we sold the 105s and for 355, and it's already at 109. So, obviously, for a week, 3% is a lot. But I started thinking about what can you do if you're already in your 50s and you want to retire at least by 65. So I did a little calculation here. I pulled up a spreadsheet, and all hope's not lost if you're willing to get engaged. And you can do this tax-free. And so I wanted to use an example. My wife just turned 53. So she just turned 53 on the 10th, and 3 days ago. And I thought, well, what if she hasn't done anything? We have almost $1 million in trading right now, but what if we hadn't done anything? What could we do? So I started thinking about funding our Roth and what we would have to do to get there by the time we retired. So she plans on working until she's 65, until we find out a way that we can't, because everybody has to have Medicare, and we have insurance on her. So let's go with 53. So 53 to 65, that gives you, it's 12 years, so 13 years if you count the first year. So what could you do today? So today, a couple, so there's two people, you can put in $7,000 each for 2020 before the tax day, and 2021. So that'd be $14,000 an individual, and you have to do Roths as individuals. So you'd have $28,000 to start with. So today you could go put $28,000 if you have $28,000 in savings, or you can put $14,000 in for 2020 before tax day, and then before the end of the year, go ahead and put in the other 14, and so you have 2020 and 21 taken up. So in this particular case, we're assuming that you have, fairly quickly you have 28,000. So let's put that in there, and let's see what you have to do. So what do you have to do to become a millionaire at that point? Well, what you have to do is you have to get about 24% a year. So if you're looking at a triple like TQQQ, which we've been trading, the options, what do you have to do? So let's back into that. So if you need 24%, you see that you would retire here in 13 years at age 65, which would be, it's not even your normal retirement now. I think your normal retirement now is 67, for Social Security, but let's say 65, just for round numbers. So, 24% would give you over $1 million. So the couple that's over 50 and didn't start until they were 53, didn't put anything in retirement at all, if they made a good income and they could put $14,000 a year in until they retired, it's still not too late to become a millionaire and retire a millionaire. So I know some people are going to say, oh, $1 million is not what it used to be, but I think $1 million is, for most people, is a lot of money, especially people that have it saved at this point and they started down this road. Then they could save, and then if you're even younger than that, look how fast it would accumulate, and you would end up with several $1 million. So if you're in your 40s, you could end up with $2 or $3 million. So what would we have to do? So if you traded TQQQ and you sold the puts, like we do a lot on this channel, so this is what we've been doing for the last several months. So if you sold the puts, you'd have to do 2% per month to get 24. Now it's actually less than that because you have the you have the addition of compounding. So if 2% compounded every month, you could say 1 times 1.02 times it times 12, and you're going to get a bigger number than 24. But let's just stick to the basics of let's just divide it by 12 and assume it was 2%. So that means every 2 weeks you would have to do 1%. So 1% every 2 weeks, would be like essentially if TQQQ was trading at 100, which it was a few weeks ago, you'd have to get $1. And you would only have to do that every 2 weeks. So, and we've been doing a lot more than that. So you can go a little deeper in the money. You can go and buy, at this point, you could buy, maybe it's trading at almost 110 today. It was 109.50 or something like that, I think. It's 413 now, so it was up $3 this morning. It almost went to 110. It went to 109.99. But anyway, so you'd have to get about about $1, or maybe a little bit more than $1, maybe $1.20 at the price that it's at now, every 2 weeks. So every week you'd have to get about 60 cents, which, you can pretty much sell puts pretty deep in the money and get that much and compound, to where you're making 24% a year. Now, if you got stuck with it or something like that, you still would have to pull back. But even if you didn't trade at all and you just put it in TQQQ, it's been going up about 24% a year just by buy and hold. So you wouldn't really need to trade. We're doing a little bit better than that by trading, selling the puts. So what we're doing, or what I've been doing, is selling the puts. However, when it's running really good, you actually make more money by just buying and holding. For instance, I got when it was trading at 105.40 or something like that. I sold the 105 puts for $3.55, and I did that last Thursday. Well, it's already at 109, so I would have made more money if I would have sold it 4 points higher. However, selling the puts gives you the protection, so I like that. But back to this: if you're 53 years old or under, which hopefully that's most of us. I'm 57, so it wouldn't be me. But if we were looking at my wife, which she's 53, and we put in, so somebody during this whole period of time, one of the couple would have to make at least $14,000, because to do a Roth, you have to have earned income. And I think you can check Google or whatever, but I think either one of the people that are married can make the income and can fund both of the Roths. The Roths are done as an individual, but you can fund either one with income that comes in from either one. So how does this work? You put $28,000 in today. You put $14,000 in every year after that. You don't have to put it in any particular time, throughout the year. So if you wanted to take 7,000 divided by 12, then you'd have around $600, a little bit less than $600, because 6 times 12 would be, 72? So just a little bit under $600 each per month. So if you got paid every 2 weeks, which a lot of people do, you'd have to take $300 out of your paycheck and put it into a Roth. And you can do this automatically. You can just go. Now, some people might not know how to open a Roth. You can go to any of the big brokerages, and trading is essentially free now. Fidelity is a big one. I've got mine in Fidelity. Schwab is really good. There's TD Ameritrade. I like the simplicity of Fidelity. I just go into Fidelity, and they have, all of these firms now have, client platforms that show you level 2 and stuff like that. I don't even do that. I just go to actual website and trade there because I trade pretty simply or whatever like that. So even though I'm selling puts, I do watch it, daily. I really don't trade, that sophisticated, so to speak. So, but put it in TQQQ. You could spread it out and try to, as long as you're getting 24%. Watch the single stock risk if you were to do this, though. That's the thing that you want to watch, because let's say I know Tesla went up, 8x last year. But, if you went into Tesla and Elon Musk dies, then Tesla might tank and it might never come back. So you have that single stock risk. I'm not telling you not to do single stocks. I'm just saying, for most people, I think just invest in ETF. TQQQ is a 3x of QQQ, essentially. They don't do it exactly like that, but essentially that's what it's trying to duplicate. And those are the top 100 NASDAQ stocks. So you have a lot of tech stocks in there. So you're getting a lot of the tech. You're getting Apple. You're getting, you've got Tesla in there. You got Microsoft in there. A lot of the big guys. And so the top 100 NASDAQ stocks. So, yeah, so if you're over 50 and you haven't started yet, but you're making a good income, or you can make a good income, or you're not making that good of an income, but you can go out and get you a part-time job to where you're making an extra $600 a month, then in 13 years, by the time you turn 65, you can retire a millionaire. So another thing that I think I did another video on this, even somebody that went and gave platelets can make $600 a month. And I know it's probably a pain in the ass, but some people do it just to save lives. They read a book. Some of the places they're paying $600 a month. Some of them are paying up to $1,000 a month. But let's say you just made $600 a month. You could just make it a routine and go and do that. You can find you a part-time job. There's a lot of different ways to make $600. You could do, the flea market thing, buying and selling. You can do all kinds of things. You can do something on a website, But anyway, probably the easiest way is to make a little bit of money where you're working now. But anyway, I just wanted to show you this. There's not a lost hope if you're over 50. You still have time, and the Roth means all of this money is tax-free. You can take the money out anytime you want to, and you can take the money that you put in, you can take it out anytime. It's not a problem, but you need to really Google it, and all your earnings, I think you need to keep in there for 5 years. So that would be something that you'd have to think about. But any of the money that you put in, you could take out, I think, at any time. Anyway, you can Google that and see exactly what the rules on the Roth are. But, the Roth is probably the best thing that's out there right now to be able to, accumulate wealth tax-free. So give that a try.